no job. You're fed up with the hard living. Just to survive, some of your inner in the street baking. Because the people who's up to help you, who you're putting for, look at how they turn back on you. They lie. They're not finished with the poverty reduction strategy. They lie to your division 2030. So empty. So Kale and give it. At the end, they defeat all of your improperty. Calamity. I wish I was a millionaire. And some of them I know and Ryan, let me make it clear. Instead of Johnny politics, I will build horses. Get loans to the poor so they can pay taxes. Yeah.
Make you lead it, I know. Make you lead it, I know.
You can't see, you get mob, you can't talk, your folk can't even walk. Tell me, people hating you because you hear the cap. They go, why you got the man in the cap? Tell you, you're all in the community. What if I say it for those with disability? Then come and say they reopen the school. You now see, hungry people go to school. Instead of giving job to the jobless, hope to the hopeless, home to the homeless. They manipulate the system and make it worse. Now they come on make it even by the cup of rest. One man in more than 3 positions. The same thing they were against when they were opposition. You tell me what we leading to. So they think they got peace and justice, nothing for the poor. To be your money, they want you sell your soul. Either you cross the road or you bend down low. All I lie, I pray that my people rise. That one day God will show they get all of them cry.
Wallah, make you lead it, I know. Make you lead it, I know.
You know, when I see my country blessed with all the natural resources, and yet instead I see my people living in agile poverty, then I question myself, where have we gone wrong? I just wish I had the power to share the national cake, so everybody can have a taste.
For all they say, we go to school, so no job for all, we get pregnant. Hustling in the screen and they have money beyond do. I didn't get what chair, all they take our market, what they want to do now?
Well, I'm a graduate of the state-run university, and everywhere I have applied, they are asking me for 10 years experience, and that is impossible.
All right. Good afternoon, good evening to all of our esteemed followers. Today is another great day. I want to welcome you to the Humanity Conversation. The Humanity Conversation is a podcast that highlights major human interest stories and development in Liberia and other parts of the world. Today is Monday, September 22nd, 2025, and I'm Morrison Dassin Jr. hosting the Research Bureau segment on the Humanity Conversation podcast.
But the good is on team tear with his boom. So let it be with Caesar. And what for Clipper? If for Clipper.
Today what we have for you on the program. So today we're going to talk about a few issues and later get to our question and answer segment on the program where we know we receive cash first for their lunch.
Your bow, your can't afford. Some of your life more than dig hole and cover hole. Some of your lost you the civil war. Some of your breadwinner sitting.
We'll take a batch of teen song from our podcast, and then we'll be back shortly with all of the discussion points.
Who you're putting for? Look at how they turn back on your. They're not finished with the poverty reduction strategy. They lie to your division 2030. So empty. So Kale and give it. At the end, they defeat all of your improperty. Calamity. I wish I was a millionaire. And some of them I know and Ryan, let me make it clear. Instead of Johnny politics, I will build horses. Get loans to the poor so they can pay taxes.
Make you lead it, I know. Make you lead it, I know.
All right. Welcome back to the program. And let's talk to our panelists. Gentlemen, what's up?
You get high, you can't see. You get more, you can't do your folk and even walk. People hitting you because you hear the cap.
Gentlemen, what's up? Welcome to the conversation. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Michael Kimber, welcome to the conversation. Michael, you following?
Yeah, I'm following. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Ambassador Amadu, you guys should please try to mute your mic. Please. The feedback is kind of terrible for us, please. Yeah, so we want to say sorry to all of our amazing followers for the break in last week. We couldn't run the humanity conversation podcast due to some technical issues we're facing, and then we're trying to set up some other things that would be helpful for our followers out there in terms of getting studio materials and other necessary things that will be useful for the podcast. We're trying to do everything possible to get a studio set up back home in Liberia so that the team can have ample time to have most of the discussion. So while I'm here, also trying to do one or two things so that the podcast can keep running. We just want to encourage you, our amazing follower, to always bear with us because we all know some of the challenges. All of the panelists that on this podcast, they are tied with some wide schedule and they have to squeeze in time to join the podcast. So we say sorry to all of our amazing followers. Sorry to you guys. And we say welcome back to the Humanity Conversation podcast. Today is Monday, September 22nd, 2025, having to be the recess period segment where we will be listening to our veterans, Ambassador Do and alongside with Amadu Morris. So, Ambassador Do and Amadu Morris, I turn the mic over to you guys. Welcome once more.
Yeah, thank you. It's great to be here today. And like you said, our break was very important, but we need men to do that to put our audience into suspense. We know how important it is keeping you not updated regularly on the platforms, but it is we have to just try to do our best in order to come back stronger. As you see, Morris down there, Morrison, you see a studio all set with a microphone. So similar thing we're trying to do down here. So if you are following this podcast, we are looking for the office space between Morrison to Singapore Bridge. At least you can help us to get an office space where the setup is not only for the podcast but other offices. So we are doing that from now to December. So we search for that. So it's great to be here.
All right, we'll love to hear from Ambassador Paul.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Background noisy.
It is good to be on the show today, as you said initially, because of some test schedule and to set up the studio, both in America and in Liberia, was one of the reasons why we were out. Well, at least we want to apologize to all of our followers and supporters. But now I think we are back strong and we all will be strong. So we can go ahead with this show. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Ambassador Paul. Thank you so much. We have been joined by one of our little brother. He always involved himself into the question arena. Yeah, he's always involved himself with the question arena. He's someone that loves education, so he make it possible today to join the podcast to at least share light on some of the educational aspect for his end, being someone that involved himself with question and seeing himself on the science department. So he want to choose some light for his end while we continue the conversation. So Michael, welcome to the conversation.
I'm gonna unmute your mic.
Michael, welcome to the conversation.
So thank you. It's a privilege to be on the Humanity Conversation for the first time. I would love to start by introducing myself. I'm Michael Kimler, a permanent resident of Stockton Creek community, and it's good being here. And I hope to continue being here until we can have the children hearing our voice all the time, and we can continue to give back to humanity and society in the best way possible. So thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Maria. So, Ambassador Paul, today's Monday. How's the atmosphere out there? How the atmosphere out there? How the school system going?
Yeah, the educational atmosphere is good because, as I said, we are now in the third instructional week of this first period. Because, as I said initially, every period is 6 instructional week, 4 for instruction, 1 for revision, and the other one is for testing and evaluation. So I think we are on course. The campuses now are all jam-packed with our students. They are in full, but most of the students now are not in their uniform because, you know, something that has to do with courtship, and you have to buy the uniform. And some of them, we gave them 1 month to observe them, carry your color clothes for 1 month. And then right after the first marking period test, we expect for every student or every child on the campus or campuses to be in their full uniform. So for now, we relax the issue on uniform. While it is true, those that are carrying the color clothes, some are carrying their uniform and some are carrying color clothes. But those that are wearing the color clothes, we try to provide some level of education on how they should appear on campus. They should dress modestly because that is the era of learning. It is not an area where you go for entertainment, where you go socialize yourself. So you have to dress that will represent you. So there are some dressing that are not necessary. No carrying raka, no sacking, no tying hitter on your hair like you are a football player. No earring, but you can just wear something that can represent you. Like maybe you're going to the mosque or the church, or you are going to attend a wedding ceremony. The way you're supposed to be looking in your full attire. So the atmosphere is good actually.
All right, with all what you have said, I want to ask this question: why is the role of the demo student presently in your school? Like he taking note of these children when they come into school, checking in their book bags and other stuff, going to classroom, making sure everything is on course because we notice that children nowadays go to school with substance like other and candy, other things in their bed, what teacher teaching in the background doing different things, eating and chewing their candy and other stuff. So why is the role of the demo student from your end?
We are putting measures in place with the alarming situation that has to do with drugs. The first thing we do every morning, we have an awareness of drugs. Just as somebody would be, because I'm working with a religious school. So the school is a religious school. Somebody is designated to preach. But before the preaching or while you are preaching, we talk about drugs. And then we have a system in place at the entrance of the campus. You will have somebody there posted that will inspect the bag of all the
So
students.
I want to know your school infants.
Yeah, the school offense.
All right, so you guys only focus at the gate for getting to know students, use different methods, probably to throw their bags over the fence and then just pass through the gate and
No, it
just
don't
yeah.
act.
I just saying
Actually,
something. I just saying
no,
something. I just saying
no,
something. These are things
actually,
that
yeah,
these are things that students normally do. So you guys have to take all of these measures into consideration. So I'm just
yeah.
trying
So
to put you guys on the line. That's all.
yeah, no, I agree with you, but if I say something to you, you don't want to. It will shock you. Now these days, we have kids. Most of the children now in the senior high, the junior high, the elementary, most of them now are kids. Yeah, if you do a complete statistic now in school, you will see children 15 years, 13 years, 17 years now. They are in 12th grade, 11th grade, 10th grade. You have children 12 to 12, 10 years now in 7th grade, 8th grade, and 9th grade. So the kids, they are manageable. We try to manage them with the measure. And because they are kids, we provide the information for them. Actually, none of them have that mindset to throw the bag and pass. No, because we make sure every child attend the devotion. Even if you are late and the number is huge, those that are late will have that devotion and we will inspect them, because as you may be aware, in Liberia now, the issue of drugs is alarming. So the measures we are putting in place is very huge, actually, because we don't want none of our children. We are building the future. So to allow them carry substance that will damage their future, it means we are not playing our role as teachers that are mowing the mind. So for the campuses, I can say it for free, it is safe. Even those that are selling food on the campus, there are certain food that is not allowed to be sold on the campus.
So
Yeah.
how long you guys wish you to carry this process? Because we noticed that schools nowadays, they only try to implement some power at the beginning of the school year, and then when the school year go in the middle, they just don't care. They don't care anymore. Students just do what they want to do. So how is it from your school end?
So one thing I want you to know, that the second institution that prepare a good citizen is the school. The first institution is the family that prepare a good citizen. Is the first institution is the family, and the second institution is the school. So as institution, I think the measure we put in place is a measure that will continue up to the closing time, because we have a committee set up. We have a committee set up, and that committee, we have people monitoring the committee. So that committee will always be reboxed to ensure that they function in the right direction. Because I told you that our role as teacher is to prepare the kids that will represent us and take over for us tomorrow. We will not always be in the classroom. So we are preparing them to prepare the future, the subsequent generation after them. So I think the measure we put in place will remain, and nothing can thwart the measure.
All right, let me go to Amadu. Amadu, the question
Thank
to
you.
you as well. Let me go to Amadu small, because you guys are the one that teaching. Amadu teaching a vocational school. So Amadu, are you guys managing? Even though we know that the students that go to your school, they are of age, they out of high school, they pay their own money to learn a trade. What are some of the measures you guys are putting in place in terms of taking a good one from the bad ones that will want to go to your school?
Thank you. So, like you said, our institutions is professional institutions. Just about have students in this school, in high school, because there are some parents that taking advantage of that children learning trade into that training school. So we like, when a child can read and write and send them up, we can allow them to come to our computer school and learn as well. Sometimes when I see them come, they see the tiredness in their faces after school, we just have to come to another school. But one of the things that we do here is, for me, I'm always there to talk to students, advise them, because this school we run here, there are people here who even children at home. So there's a professional stage. You learn how to talk to people the best you can to avoid private. I remember one time when we were doing a drugs protest, they were like, one of our students made a statement. He said, "People just wasting their time. Why are you going to do a drugs protest?" I was like, "No, you don't make the kind of statement. Yeah, you might not support it, but making this statement will not help. There are police in this class believe that the protest is necessary." And you yourself, then I ask you a question. Do you think drugs is good for you as a person? He said, "No, but I don't take drugs. I have no any source that I can take it." I said, "No, don't feel like I'm attacking you. But if you're saying that it is a waste of time, the honor mandate." So one of the things we always do, make our best thing we can do is to provide awareness. Talk to our instructor when we go to the classroom, talk to the students. There are students in the drug class in the professional area agree that drugs can destroy them and destroy their future. So there are some of them even about the protest. Some of them know that, right? And I will tell you that we have a listening group of students right now. Well, I think goals are going to grow, and then different group are going to come in. So we try our best every day. I can tell any instructor for the matter, every day you go to class, once you stay in the class and beat your student or your student beat you, You feel many of the time, use yourself as a motivation. Even when the student feel that the teacher talk about themselves too much and they have that feeling, but use yourself as a motivation. Because if I was on drugs, I would not be here today, standing in the classroom, teaching you, providing you some computer knowledge. But now in a gray area setting, it will be no help to you. And one of the things I tell them every day, if you come to this school, you learn. There are people, right? There are people that have gone to school, learn, complete a BSc or a master's degree, and still go back to the degree and take jobs. Someone will say out of frustrations. So it's not a model about the education. It's about your own thoughts. How do you think that this thing is destroying you? How do you think this thing is good for you? So we in the classroom should have a motivation. When I say self of motivation means you should appear just free to as well. I cannot tell the students to stop doing this and the next day they will see me in the ghetto sitting down. And once they see me in the ghetto 2-3 times sitting down, they will not have no respect for me. So you cannot be coming up every day talking to the students, motivating them, talking to them, trying. I will not tell you that all of the students that come to my school are just free. No. I can't still tell you that all of the instructors that teach are just free. No. I cannot tell you that I have nothing put in place to say, okay, I'm going to examine them and tell them. Because everything before we do as an institution, right, we can start it, but the support of the national government is really important. Because if the national government says this is mandatory, that any students in any institutions, before you go, they should be able to do a just check on you, or should be able to do this. At this place, we'll not check anybody's bags to say we want to see if we have this. But one thing I can assure you that we have a team of CCTV camera we're teaching it to. So our students will install CCTV camera in all of our labs, and that will help us with security for us. So that is one of the things we are putting in place right now. And what we put in place to continue the just issues in our school, we are installing CCTV camera in our real labs. That's what we're going to do. We can be teaching them, we're going to install, and that'll be fun for us. Yes.
All right, thank you so much, Amadu. So we go to Michael. Michael, the academic year 2025-2026 has just begun. So what's your expectation for young students, most especially like Mr. Doe said, nowadays you see so young kids in bigger classes in like videos. So what's your expectation for this year 2025-2026 academic year in terms of students scoring high grades both in high school and going for the national exam?
Yeah, so thank you. For me, I have high expectation when it comes to the teachers doing their work and the institution working as a one unit, because I'm fathering 3 girl students, 2 of which are currently in school, and I understand the level of difficulties institution face when it comes to minimizing the rates of student and teacher interaction, particularly the female student, and I also understand what it means for institutions to run, particularly in contemporary like Broadwell. Education has been on the line as in the trash. So my take is good, and I have high expectation. But when it comes to the entire academic year overall summary, I think the institution have more work to do than the student, because now we are in a contemporary society where we want to minimize drugs because we cannot eradicate it totally. And I think every institution needs to take drastic measures when it comes to minimizing drugs in the country, because here is it. Nowadays, I was fortunate to be a teacher for 3 years after I graduated from the Stella Marie Polytechnic with C certificate in teacher education. I was a teacher for 3 years in the classroom before going to another professional environment. The teachers nowadays in our classroom, there are many people who does not understand the teaching ethics they are in the classroom. So when I see the institution have work to do, the first thing they need to work on the instructor, particularly those teachers that do not have the necessary requirement to sit in the classroom or to oversee our children. The institution need to get rid of those teachers first. Secondly, and put additional drastic measure on student regulation. I can retrospect when we were in high school, there were a lot of measures that were taking place, particularly when it comes to your dress code, one, two, when it comes to you taking in substance going to school. I was fortunate to graduate in Tepennoh Memorial High School. If I show you my uniform trousers I used to wear at that time, and comparing it to current student, you notice that my trousers alone can fit three of the current student trousers. Because nowadays our kids, particularly, we intentionally lead the horse with a good, accessible uniform. Some of them put additional uniform in their bag. So when we, the parent at home, try to have additional measures put in place for our kids, you will notice that they will have another means to go on campus and change their uniform. So it left with the institution now to have additional method to put in place to help our kids. Some of the kids too, when it comes to drugs, they will lead them home on the pretend that they are a good kid. When they reach on campus, peer influence take over them. They follow their friends, they take in drugs, they go on campus and they stay the entire school for that day without a particular objective. Because when students under the influence of drugs, some of them see it as a means of meditating, somebody see it as a means of disturbing the entire school. So doing I used to have additional measures put in place that the adults sent out of the classroom or they go through the maximum punishment that I can prescribe for them at that particular time. So we as a parent, we have our own work to do, but the institution have more work to do because they have more hours with our kids than even we the parent. Because drugs is everybody's business. The government need to institute additional reports measure to have at least local machines that can detect drugs at the minimum level because most of our kids, they might not take the push, other hard substances to go on campus, or after school, when they on their way home, they might take it and the next day they go into school and remain in there. So if the school detects such things within in a kid, some school do not communicate with the parent. Most of the school, because they are afraid that the parent will take their child from the school at times, while other parents will see as a necessary measure to instill discipline in a kid. So we, as us, institution, particularly those in the hierarchy, need to upgrade those instructors first because there are a lot of instructors that we see in ghetto nowadays. There are a lot of instructors to not understand the teaching ethic, you know that student own trust, instead of you serving as a mentor for that student to enable him leave trust, they will say, now I'm going to do it. So appreciate Paul and Amadu because they are still in the classroom. They have a lot of work to do as teachers or as administrators. Like Paul said, they have money devotion. Money devotion will not only help. You need to have a physical therapy session. You need to have
Yeah, we just have to bear
it
with
is
Michael.
important.
Yeah, Mike, continue.
So it's very important that we take additional reports measure to enable our kids to see the brighter future that we can get out of them. They are the future leader of our country.
Yeah, Michael having
Everything that
some
we can do,
serious network issues. Go on. Go on,
yeah, I
Michael.
think it's the Labron.
Yeah, we understand the
I think
network
it's
issue.
Labron network. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So
so we got to do more and we got to work harder and keep our feet to the ground. So thank you.
all right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Amadu, are you there? Amadu, are you there? All right, so we talk about forming an OB crew to go on various campuses during recess period and then ask questions when the students answer the question to be able to provide them their cash for recess. So we did the publication on the Humanity Conversation page, and then we have a lot of an applicant putting in for that identical position. So Amadu, what do you have to say about that? What's
Yeah, I'm
how
here.
far are we? How far are we right now
All right, so
on those
thanks.
applicants?
Yeah, yeah, it is good, and I want to say thanks to my brother, we the teacher, to play a major role, and the parent to play a major role as well, because the children leave the house before going home or before going to school and come back home to you. So for the reset period segment, we gotta do it like a bit different. We will visit a campus soon. We have over 5 plus, right, applicants, young people who have the sex, to see how best they can provide their own quality they have in academic, and see how best they can help our students with research, not just the research, but interacting with students. Because it's going to be a fun, right? Because our OB team going to go on the campus, make sure to talk to students and see how best they are grabbing that lesson, not only that lesson, asking a question. So one thing we would like to do is making sure that you shouldn't stop the person that coming on your campus and following the platform you aiming administrator. We're not coming to create any harm. We are just coming to help the students out there, see how best we can help some of them with their research and all of material. You don't know who is following our platform. Somebody will see some of the child in a video and say, or maybe the inbox or they say want to help them with their school fee. You don't know. People are following. So quickly, Monday, next Monday, our OB crew going to start. What they do, they're going to go there, recess period time, and before the show start, they provide the video with edit and we are to play here on this platform. We have some analysis on it as well. So this platform exclusively going to be for education. Yeah, the recent period segment. So there we are now. We are selected our applicant, and they will soon be coming to your campus. As soon as we conclude all of the paperwork and conclude all the documents, we're going to let you know. But hopefully Monday, you're going to see a video here from any of the campus in Liberia. Any of the campus in Liberia, students answering questions, really, I said either 500 or plus. I think you can follow some of the platforms like in Nigeria, they can say that there's a guy going to university campus and asks you, if you answer the question, you get 500. Morrison, all other panelists on this platform.
Amadu, are you there?
Yeah,
Hello.
the network I'm breaking, but there we are. That is an update for now. That is an update for now.
All right, so Mr. Ambassador Do. So one of the things I want us to add to the humanity conversation recess period segment, we want to add this up to like encourage students in various schools, but we want to start with Ambassador Do school. The higher uh, the higher average for first period test, just for the first period. We want to say this to Ambassador Paul that he should do the announcement in his school, the highest grade for his school, the students that will carry the higher grade for the first period. The humanity conversation, we have a prize for them, and we would like to welcome them on the humanity conversation to ask them few questions. We are just doing this at least to encourage students pay more attention to the lesson. So we want to start from your school, and then we're going to extend it to other schools. Like every first period or every second period, the higher the student that will carry the higher grade, the student will carry a higher grade for each period test. We want to welcome them to the humanity conversation and have an interview for them, and we'll get a prize for them. But we're going to discuss that in our general chat room. So you can just give the pronouncement to your students so that they can pay more attention to the lesson. That the humanity conversation podcast research period segment said that they are having prize for the higher grade students for the first period test. The student a higher grade for the first period test, we got a prize for them, and then we're gonna interview them live on the podcast, while we giving a prize to them. Yeah, this is one of the way we want to encourage students to pay more attention to their lessons.
Okay. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and thank you so much for starting with the institution that I teach. So trust me, I will make the announcement, and the name of the student with the higher average will be said after the first marking period test, and the person will appear on the platform. Thank you for the opportunity.
All right, thank you so much. So I think from there we can extend it. We can extend it out to other schools. We can extend it out to other schools to have all of these students that we come up with a first higher grade for each period test, and then we can have them on the podcast, have them on the podcast, interview them so that they can exchange knowledge. Yeah, they can exchange knowledge, and then we can also come up with a press for every one of them that will appear first per the period test. I will come out with specific press for them when they appear on the podcast. We'll come out with specific press for them. We'll come out with specific press for them for the winner that based on the question and answer that will be asked to them on this podcast. The person that will win it, they will give them the higher prize. But for now, we'll start with your school. We'll start with your school for the first period test. So they go out to your school for the first period test. Tell your students to get ready. The humanity conversation is here. So our little brother Michael is in studio. And these are things that Michael love to be part of, and I know he's going to give his full support to it. Michael, so let me hear from you.
Yeah, so thank you again. Like I stated previously, this is good to engage into when it comes to the student community because this is the best way we can give back to our society and to give back to our root. Because I come from a quizzing background and we were fortunate to coach bigger schools. So we will give our full support financially. And we also wanted to suggest we do it at this level. Like for example, the highest RA student from poor school, along with we can have 4 or 5 schools selected, maybe 5, based on the level that maybe from 12th grade to 10th grade, we got a category of students. From 8 to from 9th grade to 7th grade, we get a category of student. And from 6th grade to 10th grade, we get a category of student that we can share individual prices with them. I think it will be necessary because if you bring it on the show somebody from 10th grade are having a higher average over somebody from 12th grade, and the two of them sit to answer a question, in terms of question answering, the person from 12th will automatically have the edge.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
but when it comes to Irish school, those kids can actually score Google quiz when it comes to Irish. People in
Yeah,
12th grade.
I think I want to agree with Mike. I
All
think
right.
Mike on it because according to we have system, we have categories. We have the kindergarten, the lower elementary, the upper elementary, the junior and the senior high. So it will just do that way holistically, it mean it will be a problem because sometimes you see the child from first grade scoring 99, got 99 Irish, and that
Yeah,
child will
yeah.
not be able to express as compared to somebody in 6th grade. That child will not be able to express as compared to somebody in 9th grade, 10th grade, and 12th grade. So I want to agree with Mike. We have to have the price, maybe 3 or 4 prices from according to the category. Maybe we say from the elementary one person, the junior high one person, the senior high one person.
All right.
But if we just say the way you suggested one, and Mark just brought the brilliant idea, I want to agree with him. So if there's something big you are thinking about, then we can just divide it, and
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
to motivate them. Yeah,
Yeah. We can work in that line. No problem. Yeah.
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 Okay.
So like Mike said, I think we'll try to plan that behind the scene. We'll try to plan that behind the scene. So you can just give the information. You can just give the information to your school so that your students can be aware of it. Like please mute your maximum ambassador do when you're to come in your current. Yeah, like what Mark said, we'll divide into 3, and then you will just place the information to your school. So from your school will be expecting 3 category, which is from from 7th grade to kindergarten, and then and let's say from 6th grade to kindergarten, from 7th grade to 9th grade, and then from 10th grade to 12th grade. Right, Mike? That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we'll be expecting 30%, we'll be expecting 30% from Ambassador Duo School. And then you guys can think about the other schools that we can include into it so that we can have this segment on the show. All right, so
So,
yeah, you can come in, Mike. Come in.
yeah, so Ambassador Paul, I'm not a fan of because I'm not in the class anymore. When first semester will be in it. Ambassador Paul,
Yes,
did you know
we
Amadu?
yes
Okay.
the test will be around October because now we are in the third instructional week. So the the fourth instructional week will be ending and the fifth instructional will be ending in October. So the test will be around October, and then maybe in that same October we will have a PTA meeting, and then we can give the we can know the higher average. But for other schools might be taking tests because those that open on the first, as per the ministry mandate, they are now in their fourth week. So maybe the second week and the first and second week in October they'll be doing their tests. But we that started on the 9th, by this time we are in our third week. So I expect for the
Oh,
school test to
okay.
be around October. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right, so gentlemen, any other planning, we'll do it behind the scene. Yeah, we are running out of time, and then Ambassador Duo, please mute your mic. Yeah, sorry, we appreciate you. Yeah, so we are running out of time. We having, let's say, 45 more minutes to run the show, and then we haven't go into the main purpose of the show, which is the research period segment, where we're going to ask people to call and answer questions and win their self prize cash for research for the week. So today we have been joined by our sister. She's no one else but Miss Betty Bremer. She's someone that always been part of the humanity conversation, and she's the CEO of Courage Foundation. Yeah, Betty have been absent for a while because she went on vacation. I saw a lot of amazing photos. The woman in play enjoying herself. The woman enjoy herself again. Welcome to the conversation, my dear sister.
You
Please
lost,
unmute your
man.
mic. Unmute your mic.
Hello.
Yeah, we're getting you.
Yeah, I said good evening to all, and I want to say thank you. It's good to be. There's no work like home, so I've been away like almost 1 month, and definitely I miss the humanity conversation because each time I see you online, but there's no time to pop in. Yes, but anyway, I'm back now. Even though I'm on a train, like
As usual, eh? As usual, you always
so
on
I
the
just
train.
yeah I just uh, I just joined the conversation to say hi to everyone and thanks to you people for the hard work. And I want to say salute to you. And definitely, I'm going to be joining you very soon. So I just
Uh,
stop by to say hello to to every one of
all
you.
right, you're missing a lot of amazing things. Yeah, there are a lot of good segment we just found on the podcast that you've been missing, and I'm glad you are back. So you're going to squeeze yourself in for the women and health segment so that you guys can discuss some of the women issues, so that our followers that will be following you guys can learn some of these things from your. Yeah, and thank you so much for the Courage Foundation. You guys are doing amazing. I see your school distribution, your high school back to school distribution of copyboard and other school materials. So I say thank you so much for doing that. Yeah, so Amadou, you can take it off
Yeah,
from there.
Morrison, quickly, I'm
Oh,
experiencing yeah, man, thank you. I'm experiencing a bad network. I don't know if people calling you have been looking. I'm really experiencing a bad network. So we could just continue the conversations around our educational sector. and see our best. I think see me great coming out. I don't know what is happening. I just part of the player and especially about network. Actually.
Yeah, so we can just announce the number
You forget
again. Hello?
yeah.
Yeah, we can just announce the number so people can call in. Yeah, because there's the purpose for which we come on this live today to ask question and then people answer, students answer, and then win themselves recess for this week. So we appeal to them to please bear with us because of the network issue. So if they call in, they have to be patient when they call in so that their call can come true. Right?
All right, thanks. Yeah, sure, sure.
Yeah, so the number to call, the number to call to get yourself recess for the week. You can call the number 0778793840, 0778793840. You can call this number and then answer the question and win yourself recess for the week. Yeah, this is current event. We ask question based on your class. We don't ask question above your limit. So we ask question based on your class. So you shouldn't be afraid to call. So call 0778793840 and win yourself 500 Liberian dollars for recess for the week. So we're anticipating roughly about 6 winner today. So please try to make use out of it. Ambassador Poy, you want to say something?
So I'm cool. I'm following. It's okay.
All right, 077879 0778793840. Amadu, you're saying something.
Yeah, definitely. As we wait for the callers to give you more insight about the research bureau segment, the last part of it is more about you calling. You gotta be your high school students, please. Don't confuse us. We are not looking at you. That's the reason why soon we'll be visiting your campus. We'll not be doing it too far because we know that there are people who see it as an opportunity to be able to get money. Maybe they will take it, put it in the corner, and be able to ask questions and have different forms. Sincerity begins with you as a parent. So if you think you will take a child, give them the phone, and you begin to answer the question beyond them, they will learn from you. The children are like the artificial intelligence. They learn from the environment. So now somebody can say, how the AI manager know that this thing will happen or this thing is currently going on? That's how the kids learn. When the kids are closer to you, everything you do, the kids follow those footsteps. So if this number the number on the screen here, you can call, you can use another phone. If you want to call, you can call that number. You can do the dialing of the call, maybe like elementary students or kindergarten students. They're going to ask questions based on current event or something that is happening in the classroom. Everybody can ask a question. So those that are following, you can ask, like the panelists can ask a question. Maybe if you're not here, I'll just read into it to you to be able to get it. But I'm talking to the parents, right? The children learn from you. There's a people care about what they call integrity or children learn from the environment. Definitely I know. But you cannot be a bad example to your kids, right? So it's not only for kindergarten students, now elementary students. It is for junior high, senior high, people that is going to school, people that are already in school. You can take the phone, they make the call. When it comes through, you're going to ask the question based on what the answer will transfer that particular phone to them. And mind you, let's get this clear. The number you call it on, the number should be on mobile money. That's the number we want to send them. We don't want to get ourselves confused here. But if it is not on mobile money, make sure the number you call on, the number will call you back on for confirmations. We're going to call you back on the number for confirmation. You confirm that the number you sent to us will so and so mean. If that's the number, yes, we transfer the money. If you don't send the right numbers, make sure the name be correct and the number be correct. Because you don't send the right number, send it to another person.
And when the fund comes from you, will not replace the money. No. Because one thing I want you to know that following the platform, this money is from the panelists' pocket of the person who's still looking for sponsors. Now, the sponsor will only trust us and believe in us to give us their money if we are doing it rightly. That's the reason we that on this platform, we are not looking for people to say, sit right behind me. And when I call the number, you call, when I feel I can't collect the money from you, we're not doing it. We're not interested in it, and we're not going to do that. Definitely, we're not going to do that because of this. That is the reason why I'll come to design a new idea where our OB crew can interact with the students. Man, you will say, research pure segment, the OB crew come to your campus. We'll not be able to visit 10, 15 campus every reason. We can visit one institution in District 17 and District 16, another one institution on Monday. We'll continue to do until the year can end. That's how we'll provide. Until then, we'll visit many campuses. Until then, we'll have several other OB crew out there. But until the sponsorship comes, let's continue to do it the way we are doing it. So as we are waiting for the call, Morrison, the last time I asked you a question, but only you and I were on the platform. And Ambassador Paul is here, and my brother is here. Those of him being in the classroom too as well. But he's a father now, and he have to just understand this. I was like, Morris, Liberia said copying from America. How do children go to school in the United States? For example, like maybe you go, you take entrance, and you pay the entrance, pay a lot of money. If that's how it happened in your state, that's the question I was asking you last time.
Come again, please.
For example, right, I want to go to a new school. I gotta take my kid there, pay entrance fee. There's a possibility my child will fail, and I gotta pay another money to make sure they pass the entrance. So now, not everybody else to pass the entrance before they enter school. You see it? The public test of not it well. That's the reason why you see some parents will take that student, that child again, take it to another school. Maybe the school will accept that the child cannot read entrance. There's a possibility that fail the entrance and still be a better student in the classroom. So in the United States, where you reside, to parents take that children for entrance before school person can start like a daughter with the new students, how would the process would like?
Brother, what did they call entrance? You funny, Amadu. What they call entrance? I want to speak for my state, yeah, because I'm based in New York. For my personal experience when I and my daughter got here, like I said, I don't know if probably you didn't get me that day. When we got here, I think 1 or 2 days we went to the school. We went to the school, called my daughter's name, look at her book, her passport, and then that was it. The only thing they had with her was to have interview, her, asking her for her name, the class she was in when she was back home, her parents' name. Now all, nothing else. Nothing they call entry, go take entry, you go do this. I experienced that thing here, bro. Yeah, I experienced that thing here. And I don't know if they have anything they call student going to take entrance for them to pass before they attend school. No. Today you take your child from another opportunity to get here today, tomorrow. Once you want your child to start school, you go on the school campus, you put in your child information, everything, they put it in the school system. Automatically your child start school. Nothing they call entry and go take entry and come back. Nothing like that.
Ambassador, do you get any question about that?
Yeah. So for me, I agree with him because there are things we do here is far different. Like if you're in America, because my big sister told me, I can remember when I was graduating from the university, I told my big sister graduation fees is this amount. She said no. For them, they don't pay graduation fees. Once you go to school, you pay your school fees. Everything is inclusive. But you pay school fees at the end of the day for school to close or graduation time, they say graduation fees. So it's not applicable for them. So I want to agree with him that for us.
So you're talking about university level, right?
Yes. So I want to agree with you because what is that in high school? It means at the level of university, they don't pay graduation fees when they're about to graduate.
Because from kindergarten to 12th grade, free education. Don't get me wrong, they get other private schools that, yeah, if you want your child to go to private school, they can go to private school. That way you pay your money. But all government institution, yeah, from kindergarten to 12th grade, free education. Free.
Yes, I understand what you are saying, and I understand what Amadu said. I am talking about the time I was graduating from the University of Liberia. I communicated with my big sister regarding graduation fees. She said, "What you call graduation fees?" Because for them, no graduation fees. When you pay, or when you go graduate from college, when you pay that money, it's inclusive. You just go graduate. But for us in Liberia, we pay for credit hour. Then they have special program there for graduation fee. We have to pay again. And you know, it's not on our side as well. So I also agree with you that the issue of entrance, yes.
So what I got nothing to call entrance here, Amadu. Nothing that they call entrance here. Yeah. So Amadu, you see some of the things. Thank God, Ambassador do please beat your maximum. Thank God, Ambassador do on the call, and Ambassador do like one of the instructors to his school. Yeah. You see, the last time the both of us were talking, and I did mention about schools every year. Various schools in Liberia will come up with different prices. They will increase the school fees, and then at the end, when the children go to school, you will see no changes, nothing you will see there. It will be the same old thing, but the year only the year change, and then they add school fees. But in terms of development or changes of environment in the school, you won't see nothing like that. But yeah, number one, the people, the school and the parents have that cordial communication. Brother, you will receive email. You will receive email, you will get tired. The school will update you on everything relating to the school, the school. They will update you on everything. If today, this week, that so and so gala days, or they have an event within this week, you'll receive all that email. You'll be informed about the happening from your child's school. So we want to say this, like you said, like our country trying to copy America, but if you see it on the other side, Ambassador Doug and Benny Business on the podcast here, they ain't doing these things. How often Ambassador do the students that he managed, yeah, as their sponsor, how often he send communication to their parents? Yeah, how often? It can happen. So these are things that we want schools to start involving themselves with. These are things we want schools to start involving themselves with. It's very easy. I'm gonna do an artist specialist. What will it take for school? What will it take for various schools to set up a data system? To set a data system to see how better they can send communication to their students' parents. What will it take for them? You increase the school fees every year with no changes, nothing. Simple thing, the CCTV camera and high schools in our country don't even get it. And one of the key things that's to pay attention to, you won't see it. So I'm if you say our country
yeah, because the reason I'm asking these questions is always good when people go out there, they get the experience. I know that our people can leave when you go to America, right? They got the experience. They learn some things. That American system, I don't think it's actually difficult to implement down to Liberia. Like you talk about the database system. The students' information are on a plain papers, right? How many schools still know how many students are entered that school, how many students drop, and what are those old students, and what are they doing about bringing them back? How many of the institutions know about that? Nothing. If I were to check computer based on the people,
you answer that question for you.
If you take computer to the people, right? If you bring that idea to them, sometimes they feel like I'm stealing for them. I remember I built a church that I based before, and up to the president of our church saying, you say the pastor was like, this is unique. So then the men know once some member drive, they will know. When members stay there, they will know. That's like that kind of system they decided to build to track the system down for that church. He was like, but this is unique. I thought this is too high. When we hear the name and like it's so big. The email system. What is big about email system in this? Everybody almost every Liberian now all was smartphone. You can't own a smartphone. You cannot own a smartphone out of email. You have to get people in the system designated for that. You don't have to only be the teacher, right? You got every institution got an IT department. That person designated for that particular purpose. making sure that the thing called social media and branding is very much important right now. So this is the reason I ask this question. Imagine on a day-to-day basis, parents are communicated way into a system to know what is going on with their child. We can do this thing in Liberia. I don't think these things are really expensive because we ask people every year, what is the creativity? What is the new thing we add to our education system that will make it unique for us? That will make it look like, yes, we achieved something. If you check some of our barrooms stay the same. In fact, it's not clean since we add the school fee. So those are problems. You see it? You, that's the question. That's the reason I asked that question because I know our people live from here, go to America, experience these things. It is not difficult to bring those systems down to Nigeria. It
Amadu,
is not difficult.
Amadu, Amadu, you see, in a kind of a modern world, right? In a kind of a modern world where technology advanced, even
Go ahead, Chief.
schools that been existing, high profile high schools there in our country like Simeris, Edo, Cathedral, there. They even have a database system that parents can get access their children and grade through that data system. Where are we heading to? Impossible though. These are things that you guys as instructors need to be putting forth to the administrators to tell them you can keep increasing school fees every year without no changes. So probably you want to come in. Let me hear from you. Yeah.
Paul, you getting me?
Yeah, getting you. I getting you, Mike. Marco,
Morrison, you getting me?
I getting you, Marco. Marco, are you there? Okay,
Yeah,
Ambassador
you
Paul.
getting me?
Yeah, I getting you now because I wanted to bring him Ambassador Paul.
Oh, yeah, so man, take on this entire school sending parent email or updating parents. For me, if you ask me, I will navigate it to the country lacks sophistication to handle this common basic need of every Liberian. I was in, I was a teacher in AGN at the time. AGN tried to create similar system. The same system at the University of Labrador using the Montana system, and the system is built in such a way that every child was having an email. Every student within the school, clear you having smartphone or not. Every single student in the phone, we created email for them. And fortunately, I was the one that was creating the email for every student. And we also created in the form that the student email will be attached to their parent email. We created email for both the student and the parent. It will shock you to know that the students, 80% of high school going students, particularly those that are in schools that are common, in the sense that we know have kids in Liberia where their parents are up to the level, they are part of the middle income and high income people, they go to a particular school where all of them can afford. So I'm talking about for normal school, like AGNN level, we noticed that 80% of the students never had access to Android phone. That was one of the challenges we were facing. We also noticed that the same 80% of the students that never had Android phone, we noticed that 95% of school-going children, their parents do not have access to internet and Android phone. That was one of the major problems. So even in Labrador, we have low access to internet connection. Even we that have the Android phone, the internet is not stable. This is one of the major problems that we face in Liberia. Students lack all the necessary means of having modern technology. We created a system in AGM where students will be updated every day. Students receive their assignment through email, the email that the school created through the Montana system. The parent will also be notified that your child or children receive that assignment. But to our unfortunate surprise, 80% of the students never have Android phone. 95% of the teacher of the parent never have access to internet. That was a very big loss for the school. So we shouldn't just narrow it down to we want the school to do it here. But can the school navigate their way? Only
All right.
know
All right, back up. They will come in nowadays. So whenever you're doing things, you always get plan A and plan B, right? For everything you said, I accept it. Yes, because of the country we found ourselves in. But what was the plan B? The plan B is so even those students don't have Android phone or parents don't have Android phone. So through text, parents can receive communication through text messages, or students can
Yeah,
receive
so
communication through text messages. What was the next approach that you guys took after looking at all of these things? What was the next approach? The
so
basic, the
the
basic thing is the communication to reach out to the parents. So if you notice that the parents don't have Android phone or the students don't have an Android phone, try to find another mentor again, like sending text messages. I think that would be another way of sending communication. But if you're trying to do things, that always try to balance it. We shouldn't continue to go on the path to say, oh yeah, because of the country we find ourselves in, or the mindset that because a certain group of people don't have access to this thing, meaning we can't continue to implement it. No, they won't be heading anywhere, Marco.
yeah, so we let's do some analysis here. Let's look at school at Wesleyan, where you have up to 500 students.
Uh-huh.
If you print all or citation and send it to the parent,
Mm,
talk and permit witness, you'll notice that out of the 500 students, maybe only 100 student parent will appear for a PTA meeting. The school communicated, right? But we got like most of the children that who are in the school currently, their parent cannot be in the literacy reading as well, very high. That's what the nature thing. So in order to navigate those things, we need a structural system, and a structural system can only come from the school. The school might try our best to see how best we can like communicate, but there are parents who can read. Look at the literacy rate of Liberia.
Yeah,
It's
Marco,
high.
Marco, Marco. Let me say something here. If you just man that one, I think you will say your communication. Since I can always I can tell my woman, I say, oh, mommy, one of the things that American people get that they can get tired with the send you communication, to send you mail, to send you email, to mail things to you. They can never get tired with that one. Whether you read it, they won't do. They must send that information to you. So I don't want us to find that excuse, oh, because out of 500 students, you send citation to 500 students' parents, and then only 100 student parents attend the PTA meet or SYC, meaning that your school will feel weak. That's your responsibility. That's something that you try to implement. That's something that you try to that system that you try to bring up. So you should continue to do it. That's going to stop you. So, oh, Reverend, let me give an example. So now we on the podcast, right? We don't have the 10 or 11% following directly. So meaning we should stop? No. Consistency until the parents will get used to it. One of the things that in the schools can bring something in, they say, oh yeah, let me try the mentor. If it don't work, they will forget about it. No. That's my point there, Marco. I want you to have an ambassador do.
Yeah, so before Ambassador Do can come in, immediate Ambassador Do just a minute. So let look at this. We been in the classrooms. We notice that Liberian parents, they're very hard to pick up. At times, you notice that only time some parents can come on campus when the children having problem. Some parents, the past 3 years, they have not done the children campus. The children been in school 3 years, they never go to campus, but if they child get problem, like the only time they will come on the campus, oh, the parents say they have their own work to do. Librarian get their own work to do as a parent. Like for me, after every week or a week or two, I gotta go check on my daughter campus. I call a sponsor, why is my child progress? Because I understand and know that I spend a lot of money and I need to know my child progress after every 1 or 2 weeks. Like locally lab international, like we said, maybe school where parents can afford, they will be concerned about their kid. But some parents, and for like most of the parents, they only pay school fee, they don't care. The only time they will go on child campus when they hear that there's a particular problem or the child having issues on that campus, then they will go there. So Ambassador, you can come.
Yeah, Michael, I want to thank you for your analysis, but I want to disagree with you on some things that you said regarding citation. Look, Michael, Most especially private schools or schools in this country feel that even for the child to hold cell phone on campus is prohibited, and which of course is wrong. My brother, today in this country, 85% of the parents are literate. You can do your survey. 85% of the parents are literate. Check the number of people now that have cell phone that can go on social media.
Seriously?
And that's also parents. So what is affecting us is the schools, the proprietors feel that investing in technology, they will be lost. They don't want to invest in technology.
That's just the point right there.
They don't want to serve because they only see the school to be a business and a way of life, not to even improve the children. My brother, check in Liberia and know how many schools even get chat room for their parents. Parents coming to PTA meeting, they got phone. You ask for their cell number, every registration. They can give you phone, you fill in, they got parents' cell phone number there. Ask for the people what some number, even put them in one chat room. Other schools see chat room to be something that is devilish. I'm telling you today in Liberia, I'm a private teacher. I got experience on what I'm saying. So my brother, the schools are responsible for not doing these things. Because
sure.
You can have teacher and you can have somebody who is the IT person of that school that is responsible to send this communication.
Sure.
But people don't want to pay the money.
They don't pay the money.
Can you imagine? I know a school that even saying for the children to carry cell phone on campus is prohibited. Why? When the child must do research. I attended a workshop from the Ministry of Education. They said the children need to carry their cell phone, but to avoid any wastes in photography, you can ask them to submit a cell phone when they want to do research. They ask you for the cell phone, you give it to them. They do research. But the first thing we must find out, how many schools in Liberia today have the internet facility on their campus? Zero.
One of the things that they can even take into consideration. Why would take for all them to go to the beyond cell phone companies to say, oh yes, get internet modem on our school campus? Why would take from them?
My brother, the proprietors and proprietors don't want to spend outside their budget. They feel that they are losing.
Every year they increase school fee. Every year they paying the teacher them good money, but every year they increase school fees. Wow.
That one I want to tell you, 85% of the parents now in Liberia, they can read and write. So if the school decide to do it, the parent will get used to it.
They'll get used to it.
I tell you.
You get my point.
We are not doing it. We still believe education should be in a primitive way, where time for PTA meeting with recitation, we give it to the students, they go home. No. Even you're supposed to get somebody responsible to even call your parents if you don't even want to write.
Yes.
They don't want to write letters. Somebody must be in the system just to check on the parent.
But my father don't call. What if father call do to that school? Say, Amadu, you responsible for this. To check on all the students and parents. Amadu, you responsible for this.
No school willing to do it. No school willing to do it. So, my brother, let me tell you, so that's the problem.
Yeah, so Ambassador, let me disagree when it comes to the rate of parents. Let's look at the entire literacy rate of the country, and we notice that 70% are youth. The entire literacy rate of Liberia, the population of Liberia is approximately 6 million. Out of 6 million, 60 to 70% are youth. The literacy rate of Liberia, last time I checked, it was 48.83%. The entire country people are get education for the 8% out of the 100. So when you do your lay math, you notice that 52% or 51% of the people are not educated in the country. How is it possible that you get 85% of the parents are educated? Just come on, man. It's not possible.
Yeah,
it's not possible.
It is possible.
It's not possible that you get 85% of parents are educated. because the overall literacy rate of the country is 48%. 70% are youth in the country. Out of the 6 million approximation population, 60 to 70% are young people. Even the young people, the number of people that are educated among the young people, it might be around maybe 50% out of the 70% who are young people. So you can get 85% logical reasoning.
All statistics agree that
Gentlemen, the feedback is too terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, the feedback is too terrible. So, Amadu, you want to come in? You are saying something. Yeah.
So, Michael was saying about the percentage of literacy rate and the young people and others, right? So when Paul talk about 85%, maybe the number was huge, but then we talk about parents and guardians here, right? Let me tell you, I grew up with a parent that was not educated to that level. But then if I bring my graduate home, there are people within the community that are going to talk to say, look at the graduate my son, right? So my other in our home, we are big brothers. Our parents they send the kids to school. So for our school to talk about implementing an email system, in order to other email parents about things that going on in the school. I don't think it's something that very difficult and it shouldn't be something that we will hold on to because we have a certain percentage that I know legislative rate is so high, so we should hold on to it. No, I say no, I disagree with that. Because in every family right now, there might be someone that can read. And that person make up the parent and the guardians. So we can implement these systems if we are willing. Once the institution, proprietors, and fighters are willing to implement this system, when we keep saying we can implement this system, 10 years will soon pass again.
Seriously, Amadu. Seriously,
Let me tell you,
Amadu.
our president will all do. We know that students come to students will work, but if we find a lower than my partner,
Marco, mute your mic. Marco, mute your mic. Marco, mute your mic. Yeah, Amadu, go ahead.
Yeah. Terrible. About 2 weeks from the student when I come here, I took the book from all of the instructors. I took my phone, I call and do a text. Call and do a text and ask the student why they are not coming to class. Someone said they are busy with something, someone said that they are not busy with something. And just because I make a call, over 6-7 students say they're coming to school back next week. These systems are not difficult. When we stay seeing to be difficult, we'll not move anywhere.
Thank you, Amadu.
If we still consider the system, we'll not move anywhere. Thank you. No time.
Thank you, Amadu. No time. We having roughly 10 more minutes to draw the curtain for today's edition. So before I pick any comment from Mike, I would like to recognize all of our followers that have been following. So I would like to recognize them. We get a Rehifi Data following, and we get Abenigo George Dokenen Siryon following closely. Thank you so much for following. We also have Rebecca Flomo following. We said thank you, Rebecca. And we have our own sister, Betty and Burma. Yeah, Betty just joined and then she left the line. She said, hi, family. Can you please post the link in the comment section? Okay. And we have our own brother, Darius Seon Peter. Darius Seon Peter is watching from Japan. Yeah, I say thank you so much for following. Thank you, Derek. And then we also get Betty again, Betty Burma, Betty following from France. Okay, so we get Betty also again. She said, family, my network is so bad, but I'm about, and hopefully I will be joining you guys soon. So these are people that are following us closely, and they are giving their view in the comment section. We appreciate you. If you just joining this live, this is the Humanity Conversation, a fascinating podcast that brings you all the happening relating to human interest story. We are appealing to you all to please follow us on the Humanity Conversation podcast page. Currently, we can't stream live on the page because we haven't reached the 60 days grace period. But we always do a relay on the page right after the podcast. So you can go and follow us on the Humanity Conversation podcast. Hopefully, we will be streaming live from it soon. And you can also follow us on Extended Hands Liberia. Extended Hands Liberia is one of the proud sponsors of the Humanity Conversation podcast, along with Care Communication Care Institute of Professional Study in Painesville. They are also a proud sponsor, and the Era Bishop Express is also a proud sponsor for the Humanity Conversation Research Period segment. Yeah, these are all of our sponsors. So thank you so much. Welcome again, and Mike.
Yeah, so it is a cool conversation, and like I said, we've been around this trying to make this happen, particularly when it comes to the PTA, the Parent and Teacher Association. We created like the same model system with Montana. We spent close to 2,000 US on our at AGM because we know that communicating with the parents is very important. But like I said, in Barcelona, Morrison and Amadu, the country is still in a developing stage, and we need to fight hard to ensure that we get our basic necessity like good healthcare, access to internet, safe drinking water. So it is important. Like our researching just now, and I get to know that currently in Liberia, only 1.84 million people are having access to internet in Liberia. So we have 3.5 to 3.6 million people that do not have access to internet at all. So it's sad that you have in a community where in which only few people have access to internet, and we want to make things work. The first thing is that stable electricity is not there. Low access to internet is one of the problems with communicating with our parents. What I see is necessary is that we keep engaging, and we got to make people understand that we need to do this thing, more especially for responsible parents. The literacy rate in our country is low, but it's increasing gradually because more people now, after the Civil War, they are trying to go back to school and get formal education. So it is good having this discussion, but we need to keep engaging our parents. We always find it more difficult to see our parents coming on campuses of the students, particularly looking at the population of the student and looking at the number of parents that can be in PTA meeting. We all been around and we noticed this. I was directly involved with the principal office, so I know how often we do the same communication. At the ATM Corey Road, sometimes before every PTA meeting, we send 4 to 5 citations to students. And one thing the Corey Road ATM principal is, they may know parents and they may know students, and you have 80 to 75% of the parent number. You can even call them on the phone at times. They won't stay come for PTA meetings. Somebody may show up when the child in serious problem. If that there's no more problem, when the principal calling you, say, punish our child. Use your own description. It's sad.
All right. So you simply try to justify the school shouldn't be held responsible for sending information or making parents to have access to their students' information. That's what I'm trying to believe. So I'm going to ask you the question again. Why would it take for the high school to install a CCTV camera in their school? Why would it take for that?
Yeah, so most of the school is, particularly for private school, is owned by 1 or 2 individuals. But the first thing we should look at is, before we attribute this to private school, let's look at the government institution. Let's look at the University of Liberia. Do we have CCTV camera? It's owned by government. It's run by government in our national budget. It's not there. Let's look at the Titular Memorial High School. It's owned by government. Tottenham High. The biggest high school in the Republic of Liberia is Tottenham High. There is no CCTV camera. We need government intervention. We need people that have love for education in higher position to see that these things are necessary. At first, when you're pregnant, you don't go to government school. But for right now, when you are pregnant, you still attend MCSS school. I saw it last year, I was very happy because sometimes kids make mistakes. They get pregnant and they still want to go to school, but we deprive them. But the new superintendent you are able to make it possible that even if you're pregnant, based on your circumstances, you can still go
All
to
right,
school.
Michael. Michael, let me just call you there. We will try to bring our discussion on hopefully next week, Monday, to discuss the importance of CCTV on various school campuses. So on Monday we'll try to discuss that, but we are out of time right now. We have roughly about 3 more minutes to join the curtain for today's edition. So I would like to take 1 minute for each of you parting comments. So I will start with Ambassador Do.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think it was fascinating today to be on this platform, and I want to say thanks to Mike. I appreciate your input, Amadu as well. I think we are doing our best to provide education to our people that will bring about enlightenment in the future. Sometimes I want to agree with Mike what he said. Transformation begins with government, and we see most of our system here, government is far lacking behind. So we need to point high in this country that bigger institution that should serve as a role model be doing good. You can have the bigger government school, no CCTV. You can have the bigger government school or no technology, no internet on the campus. These are problems. But however, these discussions they are for another day. And I want to say being on the platform was fascinating, and I'm glad to always be here to share my thoughts. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ambassador Do. So I move to Michael.
Yeah, so it is good to always be here having this conversation to see how best we can better the life of our school going kid. It's also important that we continue to raise the red flag because we need to understand that transformation begins with those that are in authority. And when there's no precedent and those that are in authority cannot do the needful, what about private institutions? Trust me, if you have all of the government institutions having CCTV camera on their campuses, you know that there will be a particular law set that private schools should also do the same. Or you cannot come to me when your private school tell me to install CCTV camera and notice that Tepennoh Memorial High School does not have it. Even at the University of Labrador, there is no CCTV camera, no access to internet, there is no computer lab that is actually functioning at the University of Labrador. Lack of bathroom. I'm a current senior student at the University of Labrador reading organic chemistry. It will be interesting to know that we do not even have elementary flags at the entire chemistry department. How can we conduct experiment? The last time I checked before I saw something, it was where I'm working. To see even sulfuric acid is to my working place, I can see it. I go to school, I can see it. So if we have a government institution setting a necessary boundary, private institution automatically will want to go. So it's good to be here. We keep raising a red flag to ensure that the necessary things are done in our country. So thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mike. Thank you so much. We'll be hoping to see you tomorrow joining us. So Amadu, let me hear from you.
Thanks to every panelist today. It was good, and the research period segment most of our education sectors. To conclude, I agree with Michael, right? If we all can say that people should do this, it should begin with the government. It should begin with government-run institutions. I don't know how difficult it is for the government school to have a functional computer lab. I don't know how difficult it is. I don't know how difficult it is for a government school to have a CCTV camera or better security system. I don't know how difficult it is. Because every other sectors in the country give money to the government. Every other sector in this country give money to the government. The government generate reforms. How many institutions, private institutions, and government sources that? I can't remember none. Their money is going to them. If that money is just about paying them salary, then the issues come from. So I would like to ask Michael and all other persons on this platform and panelists to continue joining us to add our voices because most of the platforms that we are more about discussing how the representatives do not put money in their pocket or representatives put money in their pocket. Maybe government is not hearing some of those things and not seeing some of the recommendations for people that should be providing them. Maybe people in government feel that it is so difficult to have a functional computer lab. So maybe we'll keep talking here. And we from different sectors keep making it simple to look like it can happen. You're definitely going to do it. Quickly before I I go. Like Teco, right? The Teco got a very good on the system. Just pass on like down or something like that. But it's not always done. It's most often out than in now. Now, like you, that assistant, I say, $3 US per students for high school, and $5 US for students at the university level. Then when the tech, okay, I don't know the price right now. So if you just put maybe $6 in the school fees for every student to pay on a monthly basis, you have to run. It just look big to the people, but it can happen. I don't know. Like Mr. So said, when I want to spend offset their budget, it becomes so difficult. So it's great. And I hope that everybody be present tomorrow because tomorrow is going to be a fascinating one. We're talking everything tomorrow. Thank you very much. It was great being here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Thank you so much for always appearing on the podcast. If you just joining again, my name is Morrison Dassin Jr., and this is the Humanity Conversation, a fascinating podcast that brings you all the happening relating to human interest story. You're about to join the curtain for today's edition. If you see us live, it will be tomorrow on our random discussion, which will be the 23rd of September, 2025. Thank you ever so much for joining us. Please follow the Humanity Conversation podcast and the Extended Hands like Gabriel podcast. Thank you guys so much for always sticking with us. Gentlemen, you guys, thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow.
You're all in the community. What if I say it for those with disability? Then come and say they reopen the school. You now see hungry people go to school. Instead of giving job to the jobless, hope to the hopeless, home to the homeless. They manipulate the system and make it worse. Now they come on make it even by the cup of rest.
Yo, that's how I draw the curtain for today's edition on the Humanity Conversation podcast. Tomorrow we're going to be joined again with our esteemed panelists discussing some random issues that affect the common people in our country. We want to say thanks to all of our amazing followers, our sponsors, for always keeping this podcast live. We appreciate you guys so much. That's how I like to say bye bye from our end. See you tomorrow.